Yes, computer. Nice one. Okay, so we're just going to run through two additional rules, sets of rules. One to do with hope and one to do with shadow and misery and weariness. So let me just do the sort of hope and endurance story first, because we didn't cover that off last time. So a couple of things for you guys to be aware of, and some really good news. So what we didn't realize is your fellowship score, you can use up each session to recover hope if you get a rest, a long rest, like an overnight sleep. So your fellowship score is equal to the number of members in your party plus
one for me,
plus one for the Hobbit of Bree. And when you have a long rest, which means you're resting overnight, and so I'm going to grant you that at the start of the adventure, because we didn't actually use that last time, you can spread the fellowship points around to recover hope. So at its most basic, you've got 5, now 6, because we've got Buren joining the group. Hello, Buren. We've got Buren joining the group. So that gives you 6 fellowship points. And then you can divide them amongst the party as you see fit for recovery of hope. And then...
how much hope is actually recovered per point?
1 for 1.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yep. So you guys will get 1 for 1. And hopefully that will be enough. Well, it won't be, because some of you burnt through a fair amount of hope. And one of the sort of things to mention about the fellowship pool is, yeah, it's a good idea to pay attention to it, and we didn't last time. It'll recover on a session basis. So even, I think, yeah, so it only recovers once per session. So you can use it at any point in the session. So if you had more than one long rest in a session, you could actually use it. Otherwise, that's where it's at. I'm just going to see if I can, does that work better? Can you guys still see that?
Yeah, I can still see that.
Okay, all right, cool. And are you seeing the sort of presentation view, or are you seeing the...
Well, we're seeing both. We're seeing next slide, and we see...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can... I don't know how to get out of this view. No, it doesn't matter. Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, so you can spend your fellowship points to recover points of hope when resting. You can also do this thing called fellowship focus, which we haven't done. It comes with a bit of goodness / badness. So fellowship focus is like buddies in a lot of the other systems. So like in Alien or in Coriolis or whatever, you get a bonus to help your buddy. So when you assist, when you spend that hope point to give the other person a bonus dice, if they're your fellowship focus, they get 2 dice, not 1 dice. So it has a pretty positive effect. However, it does not come free of charge. And in particular, when I say it doesn't come free of charge, what I mean explicitly is, I'm just gonna, actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna end this. That's annoying. I don't know why that was doing that. It's really frustrating. So when your fellowship focus gets wounded, or something really bad happens in relation to shadow, you actually take shadow points. So you're not obligated to have a fellowship focus. You don't have to have a buddy. It says you can have a fellowship focus. I'm assuming that that's a choice. I think it's a role-playing thing. So as we move through the adventure, if you feel that someone is now your fellowship focus, then by all means fill them in and make them. Just to be clear, you can only have one at one time. All right, so let's talk quickly about endurance and hope in addition to that, just to clarify some of the uses. So you've got a total pool of endurance. There's a lot of ways that gets degraded / impacted. When your endurance falls below your load number, you become weary. And when you become weary, 1s, 2s, and 3s on your success size do not count to a total. So if you roll 3 dice and they're all 3 or less, they're equivalent of 0. So weariness has a really, really big impact on your effectiveness as a player. If you get a 4, 5, or a 6, oddly, you get the full points. So it goes, if you rolled 3 6s, you'd get 18. If you rolled 3 3s, you get 0. The way load can also be increased with your fatigue number. So you remember when we did that journey check and you got some fatigue points? that adds to your load. So your load is whatever equipment you're carrying plus your fatigue. An important point, those two numbers are running next to each other, not reducing. So your endurance might be 28. If you get a load of 14, your endurance is not 14. Your endurance is still 28. You've got a load number of 14, which means your endurance has to hit 0 before you fall unconscious. Right? So it's not deducting from endurance, it's running beside it, if that makes sense. So when the number drops below that target number, not target number, but that number, then you're weary, but you're still operational. So Hobbit with 20 endurance has still got less hit points, even if they've got load 3, for want of better language, than Dwarf with 28, who's got a load of 14. Because even though, you know, I've got this load issue, my actual endurance points stay stable. It's just where I tick over to being weary that matters. So that's a really important thing to understand. If you rest, a short rest, so you just take a break in effect, you gain a number of endurance points equal to your strength rating. So if you've got a strength of 5, your endurance will go up by 5 with a short rest. If you take a prolonged rest, all of your endurance points recover unless you're wounded. If you're wounded, you only get your strength back. So if you've got the wounded characteristic, you only get a strength back. Okay. Now, just on hope. So hope is the meta currency of the game. We used it a lot in the last session. I just want to quickly go through a little bit of understanding about hope. So a little bit like endurance, it has two numbers running beside each other. You've got your hope and you've got your shadow score. So when your shadow score, which is an accumulating number, and we're going to roll for shadow in a second because there was actually an event in the last session I should have gotten you to roll your shadow score against shadow for. When your hope falls below your total shadow, you become miserable. And when you become miserable, you know, when you roll an 11, when you roll the Sauron number, you automatically fail. So instead of it being the equivalent of 0, it now becomes actually an automatic failure. So you've actually got to beat it with successes. So misery is bad. The way you can recover hope is spending the fellowship pool. So during the adventuring phase, if you rest, you can spend any number of fellowship points or distribute an equal number of hope points amongst the heroes up to their maximum hope. If you're down to 0 hope and you rest, you get 1 hope point back. And during the fellowship phase, you automatically recover an amount of hope equal to your heart score. So hope is a very exhaustible resource, right? Because you think about it, right? So I don't know how much hope we used in the last session, but it was quite a bit. I can't remember the exact number, but we must have gone.
I used 6 at
yeah,
least.
so you used 6 by yourself, and then everyone else must have used 1 or 2. You were churning through it like no one's business.
Yeah.
So, and your fellowship score, even with now Buren added in, is only 6. So just to be conscious of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's hope. So the first thing we're going to do is, if we may, we're going to just roll. We're just going to talk about shadow for a second as well. Okay, so shadow is nasty. Like, it's basically you falling to, you know, the powers of darkness, giving into your baser natures. You all have a shadow path associated with your calling, as you recall. Now, what happens with shadow is basically whenever you encounter certain types of things, I get to determine whether that requires a shadow test or not. And there are various types of specific things that you can get a shadow test for. Okay, so the first thing is dread, where you encounter monsters or horrific things or terrible signs of the dark powers. You get to make a shadow test against your valor. If you're influenced by the foul powers of the dark ones, and particularly sorcery, you get to make a shadow test using your wits. So wisdom. If you find a whole stack of treasure that happens to be cursed, because that happens a lot, it's another wisdom check. And then finally, if you do a misdeed. So if you deliberately choose to do bad things that are not heroic, you automatically accumulate shadow. You do not get to resist it. You just get points added to your score. Because in effect, you're willfully accepting bad, you know, that you're heading on the dark path. Valor rolls use your heart target number. So a Valor roll is your Valor score plus a feat dice against a target number based on your heart target number. So if you've got a heart of 2, that target number is 18. If you've got a heart of 6, that target number is 14. Wisdom ones use wits, exactly the same mechanic. You roll a feat dice plus your current wisdom against a target number set by the wits score. So if you've got a wits score of 6, your target number will be 14. If you've got a wits score of 3, your target number will be 17. Okay, and there's different sources of dread. Different sources of those things which we just talked about. And on the chart, I've actually got straight from the rules, the sort of different levels of the shadow that you could have suffered from. And then finally, if your shadow score starts to exceed your hope, either your temporary hope or your true hope, that obviously has effects. So remember that reference I made to miserable earlier? That's like your current or temporary hope. If your shadow equals your maximum hope score, then you go mad and fall to and have to go one step along the shadow path, and it's all bad. So try to avoid that. You do have an option to burn all of your shadow if it's getting overwhelming. You can take what's called a shadow scar, which is where you take all of the shadow off your character sheet and you get one permanent shadow point that you can't move except through a fellowship phase where you have to do something specific to remove it. So it's basically you have to spend an entire sort of resting period of a week at least, and if not a month, trying to get rid of that single shadow point. Actually, I think it might even only be during Yule. I'll double check that. I didn't actually put that in there. Anyway, we're nowhere near that yet, so that's fine. It might actually be during Yule only that you can remove shadow scars. I'll have to double check. Okay, so the good news is, as you will all recall, those of you who are playing, at the beginning of the last adventure, you found a person who had clearly been impacted by the dark forces. They had evil sorceress effects on their body, and they had been murdered and were found floating at the bottom of the well, and they were meant to be your contact. That is absolutely a shadow event under these rules. And as a matter of fact, if you have a look at the table, and I know it's a bit small, but you can see there's the sort of gruesome killing, dreadful experiences, orc work, harrowing, physical and spiritual torment. Well, I'm not going to give you that. So the potential shadow points that you should have gained at that point were 2 based on that. So what you do is you roll, and actually one thing, just before we do that, can I get you all to update your character templates? That means going at a roll. Anyway, it sort of does need to be, anyway, no, it doesn't have to be done, but just so everyone knows, I've updated all the dice rolling properly for Valor and for wits in the virtual sheet. So if you drop off, if you go back to the core roll view, and I might show you what I mean. Let me just go to a new share, and I'll show I'll show this. This should work. Okay, so see on this, if you go back up to roll up here, and then you go out, you'll get your My Sheets view here, running down the side. Now, if you scroll down to a character sheet, your character sheet, so if you're playing Buren, it'll be Buren. If it's whoever you're playing, it'll be whoever you're playing. You should have this sheet update available in green.
Yep.
And then if you click that, it'll say, are you sure you want to update it? And you go, yes. And then you're updated.
How did you get to that character sheet?
Okay, so you just click up on roll up in the top little thing here from where you were in the One Ring. And then if you go to and then you'll have a view of my sheets, and you just scroll down until you find, I've just got, I've got everything from war stories to ruddy Coriolis in here now. So it's just endless.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
have an addiction.
That would be something they could fix. Well, I have gotten into making character sheets. It does appear that does seem to be a thing I've done. I can delete them. I can go delete sheet. Maybe I should do that.
Why would you do that?
Well, there's a lot of extras that I don't need anymore.
But what if you do?
Is there a limit? 256.
Yeah, exactly.
Two sheets now for my character, Thomas.
Yep.
How do I tell which one is the right one?
Okay. Is one of them called rollover?
Yeah.
So I think what it says is anything that didn't quite fit, it's moved on to rollover. So if you have a look, if you go now back into, actually, I'll do it because I haven't actually checked out rollover. Move to a rollover.
I couldn't even figure out how to open the rollover one actually.
So there's the view button.
Yeah, okay.
So if you go to the view button and click on it, you've got all of this, you've got it here, right? And you can actually just read through it and fix it. But my suspicion is, considering the changes I've made have been mostly mechanical, the only thing that will have changed on your characters should be the total load view. So if you go to your character, if we go back into now the game, as in we go.
You did change that. Okay.
It should all be fixed. I no longer want to see this. How do I get out of it? I probably just have to hit roll again. Yep, that's it. Okay, so if you just go back into play, hopefully your character sheets will reflect all of the new logic. Do they, Jason?
Appear to. Mine does.
Nice. So yeah,
my total load has changed to now a flat number. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. And did it keep your flat number correctly?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, well then you should be right to go.
Cool.
Then we should
you've got 2 points of fatigue, so that adds to their endurance. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. That makes sense.
Okay, and
Natty, just a quick note for Natty. We looked at the horse rules and
I know. My fatigue is not actually there because I have a
good.
horse.
Yes.
Yeah, because horses.
And mine is less because I have a horse.
Yeah. Okay, so we were just so that was that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just do that shadow roll. So it's 2 points. It's a valor check.
Valor. Where do we find valor?
So on your character sheets, if I just throw at one of you, I'll go to Bonga.
That's me.
Go to virtues.
Yeah.
Or rewards, actually.
Rolling,
Rewards in this case, because that's
rewards, valor.
Rewards, valor. Now, if you click on that D6, it should pump up the feat dice plus the thing and roll against the target number.
Let's see. Feat dice +1. Yep. Let's roll. And 14 is my reference.
So good. And you made it.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, no, but that's an 11 on the...
that's not a success. That's the...
Okay, so am I clicking on wisdom?
No, you're clicking on valor.
I don't have valor.
So
valor
scroll down to
above
rewards.
wisdom.
Go
Oh
up.
God, up
Go
there.
up one.
Okay, right.
Go up one. Go up one.
Valor. Okay.
Click on valor and roll.
See if anybody makes it.
Ooh, boy.
Oh. I missed it by 1.
2 plus
right.
3 is
So
5.
Brandon, even though you weren't there, I'm going to get you to roll it as well because we're just including you in the party. So we'll just assume
You can
that
just
you've done it.
rub our faces
So
in it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
valor.
I literally think the only way I could pass that is if I rolled maximum, because
You do need a 12.
because I have an 18 target number.
Yeah, you need a 12.
Is
One
valor
dice.
under wits? No, it's heart.
No. If you go down to rewards on your character sheet,
Is that
So
the
if
very
you look-
bottom?
if you actually just
It's-
run down the side,
Oh yeah. Wisdom.
Underneath.
Oh, on the
See,
side.
rewards.
I see it.
Protection.
Yep.
Yeah.
18. Okay, that doesn't look feasible.
All right. And so where are we recording our shadows and heart?
okay, it's in heart.
Well,
Yeah. And so that's now 2 points of shadow we have.
Yep.
Hooray!
Yay, Shadow!
Okay.
All
And
right.
so then I mark it off against my hope?
No. You just add it up. So this is my point. It runs besides your hope, not in. It doesn't deduct from it.
Yeah.
It runs beside
It's a balance.
It's a balance, right? You could almost, exactly. It's like in the Avatar game where you've got the two stats balancing off against each other. But the point is, when your hope falls behind, when your hope falls below your shadow, you need to care.
I have the Avatar game next to me. No, it's down there.
So how did Buren go?
Hey, Buren, did you roll?
Yeah, I rolled. It didn't show up though. I got a 1 and a 3.
So that's a no then.
It's no.
So
That's
a no.
Too.
So go up to your hope and your heart, sorry,
Cripple
and
some
add
way.
your shadow and add 2 to your shadow.
Okay, make that go up to.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Oh.
There we go. That's how we roll. That's how it works, people.
For a great start to the episode.
So
Yeah.
let's put it this way: you
Retroactive
don't want your shadow to climb to the point that it meets your hope.
You really
That's
don't.
bad.
Correct.
And is it just you don't want it to meet your no, you don't want it to meet your hope at all.
No.
Not your adjusted hope and not your
No, that's right. So if we just go back, we've done that, we've done that. Now your you reduce shadow, and then you reduce shadow, then you reduce shadow, reaches the maximum. Yeah, so basically I think you need to rest to get rid of shadow, as in long rests, not short rests.
Yeah. Have like a full night's sleep.
I think it might even, no, I think it's fellowship.
No. It's a fellowship phase thing.
It's a fellowship phase thing. Yeah. So shadow is nasty.
Yeah, it's long term. That's why we have to go and have a little rest stop at Rivendell and stuff.
Yep, correct. Okay, so anyway, so we'll see what happens with your shadow score as it increases. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
At least I've got a good starting place with 18 hope. You know.
Yeah.
We'll remember those words.
How are you going to spend fellowship? Who's going to take the fellowship? How are we spending the fellowship?
I feel like the people who don't have as much hope.
All right, so
Probably.
What do you people want to do? That's right. So you've got 6 fellowship points to spread amongst you.
I feel like it should be spent on those who don't have much hope to start off with.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
I'm
idea.
good. I used 1 hope last time and I've got 14, so I don't need to use that.
I used 1 hope last time and I've got 10.
I used 4 and I'm down to 8.
I'm down to
so
I'm on
you
so
get
I've
a
got
co-
9 currently. Yeah.
Okay, well let's get you up to 1 at least. Up,
Yep.
you know, up to 10. So
Mhm,
back up to your base. So that's 1 point out of our 6. And then 4 points, did you say, Rob? So
Yeah, but I could handle probably 2. Give me 2, and then the rest will just
8,
balance
9,
out
10.
you 2.
Don't forget though, Els recovers hope more slowly than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm good. I get hope back really easily compared to
Do you?
everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a hobbit.
So maybe we'll give you 3 points and then because you did use a lot longer. So
Okay, and then that leaves 2 points to go, which you might want to give to the halfling.
Yeah.
Cool. That gets me up to 14 out of 18.
Okay, so you've now spent your
All right.
fellowship pool, and it is the next day. When we last saw our intrepid heroes, they had successfully convinced the caravan to let them join. So just to read in where we were at, you had found the dead ranger contact who you were meant to be meeting with in the well at the Forgotten Inn. And you discovered evidence on that ranger that they had been killed with a weapon, like a dagger or a knife. However, they'd also pretty clearly been the subject of some sort of sorceress or fell power because they were covered, they were frozen and covered in ice, even though they were floating in the water.
But their throat was cut.
Which was how they actually died.
Yeah.
You also found in the ranger's backpack a sigil, a little carved amulet with what at first appeared to be the Elvish symbol for G, often mistaken for the symbol of Gandalf, but upon deeper analysis undertaken by the person who understood the darker tidings, it had the additional indicators that suggested it was actually the letter G from the language of Mordor, the Black Speech.
And we thought, and we have a bit of knowledge on that it might be related to 20 to 30 years past. There was a fell sorcerer who traded in Arnor named Gorlane.
Yep.
Yes. He was killed by a war party, but this is possibly his work.
Yeah, a war party comprised of elves and Dunedain.
Yes.
Yep. And you're certain, pretty much without a doubt, that the actual killer is a member of the caravan. So just to go quickly through the caravan membership again, you have the apparent leader of the caravan, Idoric, who's like the kind of big tough warrior type who's leading the caravan. He's also got Owen, E-O-I-N.
Yeah.
The Breelander, the younger guy who carries things. There's the 4 dwarves. Vig, who's the older one. Vogar, who's the one with the big scar. And then the 2 younger ones, Navi and... Narvig, that's right. Navi and Narvig. And then there's the 2 humans. In addition, Herlinon of Gondor, and who claim
Berelas.
and Berelas. Oh, sorry, there's also Mirabar. Sorry, I forgot.
Yes.
Berelas and Hilonin, who are both traveling together and have the apothecary kind of, snake oily show going on. If you remember, the dwarves were tinkerers, so they were basically traveling repair folk, and the merchant of Dorwinen, Mirabar, who seems to be actually the person who owns the caravan. And you know that the dwarves had threatened violence against Mallor.
Yes.
Because Jack, the innkeeper at the Forgotten Inn, gave you that information.
However, the dwarf also said that he did go out there, but while he was out there, he was going to go beat him up, but then Edoric stopped him.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Navi, the young dwarf.
That was Navi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's where you're at. And you've just persuaded the caravan not just, we'll assume you've slept overnight. And now you're traveling with the caravan very slowly, because despite this picture, at the speed they're traveling at, they're clearly using oxen to pull their carts. And you're moving very slowly along the road. You did do some spying on them.
Yes.
And I don't remember if you found out anything particularly useful through that spying.
No, this actually
no, not really.
just identified each of the people, and
we were looking. We saw that we couldn't see any evidence of the sword there.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then you enlightened us.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, you went looking for the sword and you realized it was at the bottom of the well.
Yes, that's
We'll
right.
call it Timmy.
Timmy the sword. Okay, so you now have joined, and quietly, the 5th member of your company, Burin, the mighty dwarven war hero, who's a member of your party. Actually, Brandon, do you want to give the 1-second intro on Burin?
How did we miss this one?
It looks very similar to me, so you might have gotten us confused.
Oh, okay. I was talking for you. All the dwarves look
All
the same.
dwarves look the same.
Yeah.
Like twins, right?
All right, go ahead, Buren.
How many years after The Hobbit did this take place?
Let's say you're about 5 years after The Hobbit.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the Battle of the Five Armies has occurred. So the big battle between the goblins and the dwarves and the elves and the humans has been fought. But yeah.
Okay. So I guess Buren is about the same age as the dwarfs that were in that, except for the two beardless ones, the one that like had that love story, I guess, with the
Killian
elf
Philly.
and the Hobbit.
You're
Yeah.
talking about the Hobbit.
Yeah, the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I was trying to reference like how old dwarves are, so I had to use that as a reference. So I don't really have a backup, like kind of like a backstory developed yet, but his personality is he's kind of young, middle-aged, and he is very proud and stoic, but that also means he's hot-headed, ill-tempered, and yeah, that's basically kind of his personality archetype. Yeah.
What does he
That's-
look like?
I put a picture of him. I think that's a.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
You don't
That's,
look impressed.
Yeah. So that's about it.
Yeah, so he's
For a
not an
minute.
old dwarf. He doesn't have any grey in his beard or anything like that.
Yeah. So he's he doesn't really think, I guess. I think Nat's dwarf is twice his age. if
Yeah.
I remember.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah. So that's
Older
basically
and
it.
wiser.
Yeah, older and wiser.
Mhm.
Only marginally though. Like it's important to note, like you've still got wits 5. You're still really smart. Like you're
Mhm.
well above normal intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wits 5 is like really good. Like it's not dumbass.
Yeah.
It's actually significantly smart.
So I guess he uses it for probably not in the best ways then.
Yeah, he may not choose to listen to his intelligence, but it's not like he's actually dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. I'll keep that.
Yeah, it's a conscious choice. No, I'm doing this anyway. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm doing it anyway. There you go. Okay. All right. So we are back at the caravan, and you guys are traveling along with them. Now, the $1 million question is, what do you want to do? Like you've managed to get yourselves into the caravan. What's the plan, Stan?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go and try and strike up a conversation with the apothecary.
Yep.
People, because I'm really interested in healing, and I've got my little herb pouch, so I might be interested to see if they've got something I could add to that, and just use that to start a conversation with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll
you're gonna
join you.
talk to her Linon and Berelas. And you're gonna join Bonga to that
Yeah.
conversation. Now, what are the rest of you doing? So Mallorn, Buren, what do you guys want to do?
Are the dwarfs friendly?
They're not terribly friendly, but I mean, having said that, you are dwarves, so
Yeah.
you can at least talk to them. Yes, there's definitely an option for talking to them, and that would not be a bad thing for you to do as dwarves. I can definitely see that working.
Yep. I feel like it'd be better for sorry, what's the name again? Buren. I think it'd be better for Buren to lead the conversation. I've tried before. I don't connect with dwarves very well, it turns out.
Runkus the horse connects better.
Yeah. Well, actually, apparently not, because he's too rich.
Runkus is a very fancy horse.
He's a fancy
Oh,
horse.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You tried to have the conversation with them, and they missed you for being some sort of fancy boy dwarf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, look at you, pretty boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where
Parading
you
his
got to.
riches around.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what are these dwarfs? So there's 2 young ones named Navik and Nabi, and
Mhm.
then there's an older one, Vic and Vogar. Is that right?
Yeah, Vig
Uh,
is
Vig
old-
is the oldest of the four.
Yeah. And Vogar is intimidating looking big
Is-
dwarf.
Big
Is it Vig or
scar.
Vic? Vig.
Vig. V-I-G.
VIG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Victor India Golf.
Okay.
And he looks like actually, let me just go back to that and say yep. Okay, cool. So this is Vig. Hold on. Navi. There he is. All right, so that's Vig when he pops up. There you go.
Mm.
Okay.
So he's got lots of grey in his beard. He's quite a bit older, even than Vogar.
And so someone died, and the party's trying to figure out who is the murderer.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you work for your patron is Gilream, the Dynadine noble, and it was her agent that you were meeting at the Forgotten Inn.
Okay.
And so it was her agent that was murdered. So you're trying to uncover who murdered the agent.
Okay. And did Natty already have a conversation with these?
Yeah,
dwarves
but it
about
went
that?
really poorly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could also go really poorly for you, but he's obviously thinking you've got at least a chance. Okay, so are you guys going to talk to the dwarves, and then that only leaves Rovan Dole. Rovan, what you doing?
All right, what I'm doing is, well, if there's anybody who needs any help in the camp and things, I help them or do things. But otherwise, I'm actually sitting there watching everybody and maintaining my gear. So I'm just tidying up my arrows and things and doing maintenance on my war gear and stuff. But specifically, because the body was dragged, I'm trying to narrow down who would have to need to drag it. So, for example, I don't think Adoric did it because he's a big man. He can probably hoik the body on his shoulder and chuck it down the well. Same with Eoin. The two dwarves, Navi and Narvig, well, they probably, if they had to dispose of a body, they'd probably pick up one end each. So I'm trying to narrow down who would likely be that. And in fact,
you do know only one of the two dwarves went outside.
Yeah, but they're young and they're two young kids together, basically. They do stuff together unless we've seen them specifically against each other in some way or rivalries.
I should point out everyone is young to you, but sure.
I know.
Yeah,
they look really closely the same.
They do. They all look like they're, to quote, they all look like they're dying.
Yeah. So
I don't. I'm winning.
She's full of vigor.
It's true.
Yep.
So really, I'm just kind of looking at how people are lugging things around the camp as well. And that's all I'm doing while all this conversation happens.
Okay, so we might go in reverse order then, actually, because that's an interesting tactic to take. I quite like that tactic. I reckon. Hold on, no, it's going to be wits. I definitely think that's going to be wits. So I think that's a scan roll.
Okay. All right, not my strongest, but
I mean, it could be insight, I guess. Let me have a quick read, but I'm pretty sure what you're doing is paying a lot of attention. But let me just have a look at insight and see what it says.
Yeah, because insight might be applying a theory that you're...
Represents the ability to see beyond appearances and recognize the hidden thoughts and beliefs of people. No, it's definitely scan.
Damn.
Can you use to examining something closely or attentively. The skill allows player heroes to skim through a book to locate a piece, look for concealed doors, recognize a familiar face, locate a set of tracks on the ground. I definitely think it's scan.
Alrighty. Okay.
Because you're looking for a physical thing. Like you're actually trying to make a judgment based on how strong they are.
I totally agree. It's just it
I'm
goes
shit
from
at it.
being a favoured skill with 2 points in it to an unfavoured skill with 1 point in it, and it's just the way the things roll.
It's
so
just,
exactly.
Did you want to spend a hope point on that, Nat, Rob?
I think it's important enough to do that, actually.
Okay, well, burn that hope.
I'll burn the hope.
Put an extra dice in there.
Yeah. So just narrowing down the crowd a bit.
Okay.
Let's see. Where's my hope? There it is. Okay.
And add a dice to the roll.
And add 1 dice. Well, actually, it's an automatic success if I choose to use that elven skill of just looking
your
at people's
magic.
postures and how they weigh and.
Okay. So you're going to try. You're going to use You're going to actually use
the magic.
Your talent, your cultural blessing.
Yeah.
So let me just read this again. By virtue are capable of reaching finesse. You're not miserable. You can spend 1 to achieve a magical success on a skill roll. Okay, I'm going to just read the magical success rules for a second. I just want to check something. I want to make sure that we're doing this right.
We're doing it right. Absolutely.
21. Okay. All right. Let's see what it says about magical successes. My thought is maybe it's you've got to succeed and then you can call it a magical success. I don't know. Players possessing a magical talent or artifact can spend 1 point of hope before a skill roll to achieve a magical success. That is, pass their action automatically regardless of the target number. Nope, we're playing it exactly as written. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just had to check. Okay, so you're going to get 1 success though, not multiple successes. So that means you.
Seriously, I've got 1 d12
Yeah,
and
I get it.
2 d6.
You're only going to get a normal
So
one.
percentage wise, yeah.
The numbers aren't in your favor. Is that what
No.
you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Now the important thing is though, it's clear that you're doing something odd.
Yep.
Right. So people will notice you sort of just watching them.
You know those elves.
I did write in my notes here when I was writing what we were all doing. I wrote Roven is creeping.
Excellent. That's
Oh,
excellent.
however, you can still roll your success dice.
Oh,
Right.
So you can still roll. So you might get an extra success is the point.
Oh, okay.
So
All
you
right.
should still roll.
So that's just a d12 and a d6, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
You watch, I'll probably succeed. No.
Nah, you made the right call.
sure.
Called that right.
Yeah.
Okay, so narratively, a magical success is an outcome that can hardly be mistaken for an ordinary success. In other words, the player has achieved something so unusual it would not be accomplished without supernatural aid. For example, a person trying to imitate some guards with awe seems to grow in stature, or the light dims and the shadows lengthen around the player. So, you know, the scene where Gandalf does it in Lord of the Rings, the movie. And or if you were singing a song, you actually experience visions. So how is the magic of this deployed?
I think you probably find that the people probably, if you're walking past me and I'm looking at you, they might get the feeling that I kind of have the gaze of a hawk or something, or even might see the eyes sort of give that image of a hawk, like I am deliberately watching them, is probably the best manifestation. There's something obvious that I'm actually staring them down and analyzing them in some way.
Okay, so
It might give them a bit of ill ease, perhaps.
well, actually, can I make a suggestion? Okay, so you're actually using magic, right? Because you're an elf.
Yeah.
So when you watch people, they all feel this kind of burden on their shoulders, like the weight of a person.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so they sort of, it's like they're bearing the weight of a person on their shoulders.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So you're actually seeing whether you're actually in effect seeing whether they really would be burdened by the weight of a person.
So the winds are pressing down upon them.
So they sort of, when you're gazing upon them, they feel the weight of a person's body upon their shoulders, which is deeply unsettling.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
That's pretty weird. And it's definitely you. They know it's you. There's no debate. It's definitely you.
Yeah.
So all right. So the success tells you that the following people would have struggled to just carry the person.
Yeah.
So actually, all 4 of the dwarves are possible culprits because they're all under 5 foot tall. There's
Alright,
just
so-
a straight up, and this guy, like all Dunedain, was very tall.
Yep.
So there's a
It just would have
there's-
been awkward and
It's just a
heavy
simple
and-
mathematics. The body's big and tall and long.
Yep. Which is
need-
why they'd have to carry head and toes, for example, if
Yeah,
they had to
exactly.
move it.
So if
and
they
wouldn't drag
wanted
it.
to move it without dragging it, it would have had to be Navi and Navi carrying one end
Yeah.
each.
Yep.
Neither Edric or Johan look like likely candidates based on your approach,
Mhm.
because they would.
Could just hoik him over the shoulder.
They're both big, strong, buffy boys.
Yep.
DeWinnon is actually not a likely candidate because he's actually not capable of carrying the
DeWinnon?
body at all.
DeWinnon. Who's DeWinnon
Sorry,
again?
Mirabar.
Mirabar.
I keep on calling him.
Mirabar.
It's the second time I've done that. Actually, I'm sure I
Yeah.
did that in
It
the last
is.
session as well.
Yeah.
So Mirabar couldn't have done
No.
it.
So
Literally couldn't drag the body.
So this brings us back to our healer and assistant.
Berelas and Herlinon
Right.
are also possible candidates, and both of them are. Neither
Yep.
of them are particularly tall or strong. So they're both possible candidates.
Right. Well, they're the only 2 candidates, it seems, out of the lot. So
Yeah, you're
What about
dissing
4
those.
dwarves?
No, he's decided the dwarves aren't guilty. It's just he's made that decision. Elves.
well, the thing is that to carry the body, the dwarves couldn't carry it themselves. So they would have to carry it. One grabs the
Oh no,
arms,
one
the other grabs the legs.
no. One dwarf could either Navi or Navi could pull the body.
Oh,
along.
okay. All right.
No, what
They
I was
just
saying
couldn't
is they
Carry it
work.
up off the ground.
Yeah, they couldn't carry
Yeah.
it up off the ground by themselves. The whole
Yeah,
point is they
yeah.
are actually possible candidates.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
be clear.
They are. Yes.
Yeah.
So we've got
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
So
4 plus.
Navi, Narvig,
Yep.
Herlinon, and Berelas.
Yep, and possibly probably not Vig, but Volgar could. Volgar's actually really strong. Volgar's
Okay.
really buff kind of warrior type too.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. So
Mhm.
that narrows it down. Nice. Cool. All right. Everybody can go ahead with what they're doing.
Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the dwarves. All right, so Buren, I think you're being put up as the front man for this conversation. How do you want to approach them?
I'll pull out my tobacco pouch and
Mhm.
keep it in hand, and in the other hand, I'll be carrying my pipe just out in the open so they see.
Yep.
Just non-threatening, and I'll approach, and then I'll just start there. So I'm sure so they haven't met me yet, we'll just say, or am I
We'll
helping
assume that
something
you've been
else,
in the
or-
background, correct?
I'm in the background, but is this the first time we've talked, or?
Mm.
Yep,
or was
It's
it-
the
okay,
first time you've talked.
Okay, so I'll say, good evening, Vig, Volgar, Navi. Could I offer you in a smoke? I got some fine long bottom leaf. You mind if I sit down and join you? It's nice to have a fellow company of a Dowie, if you know what I mean.
Now, you're not trying to... Okay, so to be clear, you're not using ore here.
I'm not using what?
You're not using ore.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, is my ore gonna make me threatening?
Well, yes. I mean, you'd be, threatening and or, you'd be sort of demanding, right? So,
Is that something,
Um,
or is it a passive thing where they just like look at me and they're like, "Oh, this guy's a big guy"? And
no, you would have to deliberately choose it. So, the skill that you're actually going to be using is persuade.
persuade. I'm not trying to persuade them. I'm just trying to be cordial.
Oh, okay. So courtesy.
Courtesy.
Mercy.
Is that a?
That's a skill.
That's a hard
Uh-oh.
skill.
If he has to ask if it's a skill, it's not good.
He's a dwarf with a heart of 2.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Uh,
We're like opposites. I've got a strength of 2.
it's true.
I have to awkwardly hold a camera in front of my face for 30 seconds in the next like 20 seconds.
Oh,
so
okay.
They know
Okay.
I'm not running away and infecting.
All right. So
the
do you? Well,
population.
okay. So you've reached out with the long bottom leaf,
Hmm.
and you're basically just trying to make pleasant conversation with them,
Yeah, that's
which
what
you can
I'm
do.
trying to
That's fine. I mean, there's no harm, no foul. They once again, you are an incredibly wealthy. Like you're prosperous, right? Like you've got a fair whack of cash. You're wearing the finest male armor. You've got a helm. You've got a giant bloody axe strung along your back, I assume. And you are looking, fit and hale and wealthy, right?
Do these dwarves look poor, do they?
Oh yeah,
Well,
they're dirt
traveling
poor.
tinkerers.
Yeah, they're tinkerers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah.
settled. Dwarves
No.
that aren't settled are not well off.
No.
Hmm.
So if you're
It's gonna do his weird thing.
Yeah, he
I don't
has
know
to
what-
do is kind of proving that he's not.
Oh, you have to
Yeah.
prove
Yeah.
that you're in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your quarantine check-in, was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like quarantine.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. Well, look,
Getting
so
flashback.
where you could try and impress them with your prowess, right? Like you're taking the sort of softly approach, but you're a proud, mighty warrior. So you have the option
Okay.
of using your awe. You don't have
I'll
to
just do
threaten
that.
them. You can
That's
just
what-
sort of say, I'm a mighty dwarf, blah, 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 blah. You should do what I
Yeah.
say.
That's what I was thinking of doing, is just kind of like trying to do exactly that.
Yeah, because you can install, so it specifically says you can instill wonderment, admiration, or fear. So you can be going for admiration, right? You don't have to be going for fear.
Okay, yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. So
let me
you're
roll.
trying to basically impress upon them your worthiness as a fellow dwarf and a reason they should have trust and confidence in you.
Yeah.
Okay. So make an awe roll on that basis. So if you go to your awe skill, you should be able to just click on it and the dice will populate and the usual things will occur.
Can
Yeah,
you,
that's a much
see-
better roll for you.
Yay!
Wow. Straight fours. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you get a basic success. So nothing to write home about, but look, they're obviously warming to you. And obviously the offer of long bottom leaf has gone down well with all of them. They're all sitting there smoking away. They're pretty quick to realize that you're quite wealthy. And whilst the older two dwarves, one thing you realize very quickly is Vogar doesn't say anything. He's very silent. He's clearly suffered a massive battle injury. Like you can see that wound to his face is actually really significant and it's actually hit him in the skull. Like he's actually been damaged, as
Wow.
in permanently damaged. So he's sort of looks at you piercingly but says nothing. The younger two, however, are very quick to spill, particularly once they realize what a mighty dwarf you are, that their family. So it's probably Narvig who does this actually. So the slightly older of the two brothers, and I do mean slightly older. Let me see if I can pick up an image. There he is, Narvig and Narvi. Yeah. So this guy. So Narvig is very quick. Almost straight off the bat, he sort of goes, yes, fellow, it is unthinkable, is it not, that our, dwarves like us should find ourselves so indebted to a human that we every penny we make goes to his coffers and not to ours. it's a terrible thing. And then, you know, Vig quickly sort of, you know, "Rah, we do not share these things with outsiders. It is for us to worry about." And you can see Narvig is staring directly at Mirabar when he's giving that speech off. So Mirabar, the sort of human merchant who runs the caravan. So it's pretty clear that they're deeply indebted to Mirabar. You're on mute.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I'll say, I know what you mean. These lesser races, these younger races don't give us proper respect, even though we've helped cultivate them and bring them from the mud up. And I understand your woes.
They 100%. Yeah. Yep. You're like them, just like them. Yes. So Narvi, who's by far the youngest of all four, it looks exactly like Narvik, by the way, but just younger. He's like, yes, but we have a plan. Perhaps we could talk to you about it later.
Aye, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Let's have a smoke.
Okay.
Pass the tobacco.
All right. So you're all smoking.
There's
You've
just
made
huddle of dwarves smoking and looking around suspiciously.
Mulgren, are you trying to join this huddle, or are you keeping your own business?
I feel like I'm risking ruining whatever he's got going on over there. So I'm just gonna I'll just like kind of maintain my own equipment and like, you know,
right.
feed my horse, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yep.
Okay. All right. So you're not engaging in this
Yeah, you have your
conversation.
own like war horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just see who's a good boy. He's putting the carrot in his mouth and the horse is eating it.
Loves that horse. Okay, now, so Loreth and Bonga.
Eorith.
Eorith. Oh, that's
Eorith.
right. I forgot it's an E at the font. Yep.
It's
Eorith. Yeah.
Eorith and Bonga.
Eorith and
Yeah.
Bonga. You are talking to her linen
Yeah.
And
and
Berelas.
Berelas. So this is her linen. Hold on. Show party, her linen. There you go. That's her
Nice.
linen. And I had to find a picture for Berelas, so I just grabbed one off the webs. But there's Berelas.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So they're both they're in a large, I've got a large covered wagon. Painted along the side of the wagon is her linens, you know, all cures, in bright coloured words spread across the wagon. There's the jingling of the glass and ceramic pots. There's herbs hanging from, you know, the outside at the back drying. And they're both, you know, sort of talking to each other quite hurriedly as you move up towards them.
I'm going to have particularly paid attention to like what herbs they've got drying on the back. And what season did we say it was?
I think we
It's
decided it
spring,
was,
isn't it?
no,
It was
I think
spring.
it's,
No,
it was, we might have
Yeah,
said it
it's
was
spring.
spring. Yep, spring.
spring.
Yep.
it's
Yep, yep, yep.
spring of 2965.
2965.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a song in that.
Yes.
So,
So you're
I'm
paying
gonna-
particular attention to the herbs, correct?
yeah, it's just so I can have something to start off a conversation with them about. And
Okay. I'm just
so I'm
using
going to walk up and be like, and make a passing comment. Like, oh, it looks like you've got a fine crop of nettles you're drying there.
That's right. It is a fine crop of nettles, Helena says, with an obvious and quite foreign accent. Now, since you were paying attention to the herbs in particular, did you want to make a... I'm trying to decide. I think it's going to be a law roll. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're trying to ascertain whether they're particularly efficient, like for healing, aren't you?
Oh no, I just wanted to have an excuse to talk to them, and I'm a
Oh,
healer.
okay.
Like I've got healing skill and stuff, but I do have law.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If you've got healing skill, you can make a healing roll.
Okay. Well, actually, healing's probably better because it's one of my
Favoured?
good skills. Yeah, favored
Skill.
skills. That's the
Yep,
one.
so put another D12 on that there dice roll,
Oh, okay, D.
because you get to pick which one you get to keep and roll.
Right.
Ooh, interesting.
11. Oh, no, nothing.
Okay, so you've gotten a success and you failed the target number roll.
Yeah.
Actually, it's magical success. Ill-favored, favored rolls, bonus success, special success, degree of success. I was out of the ordinary of 2 or more, tweaking the target number.
I have a feeling you actually have to make the target
You
number.
do
and
have to
it's
make
an
the target
additional-
number. That's correct. You do. You do have to make the target number. So roll chooses target number or lands on a 12 and produces 1 or more. It is of superior quality. So yes, you didn't succeed. Okay, so they're just herbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just drying herbs on the back.
They're just drying herbs on the rack. Okay. So Helenan steps up to talk to you quite quickly. Berelas does not. Helenan is, he's quite a tall man, quite well formed. He's significantly taller than the average Breelander. Not as tall as you, obviously.
Yeah.
But significantly taller than the average Breelander. So, yeah. So, hello. Yes. Eorith, I think. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And
that's my name.
who's your little companion there?
Oh, this is Bonga.
Pleasure to be meeting you.
Bonga. I see. And what? You are traveling also to Bree, yes.
Yes, that's correct. We have some business there.
It's a trip back home for me.
You're a Breelander, are you, Bonga?
I am indeed.
Ah.
You're clearly not.
No, I come from the south.
Oh,
Far to the south
Lovely.
and far to the east.
ooh. That must have been a long trip.
It's very long, yes. I studied the arts of healing in Minas Tirith,
Oh my.
the great
That's
white
a
city
long-
of Gondor.
Long way away. I've walked many miles, but only in the North Country, really.
Well,
Tell
we come from a further place than that.
I have some interest in the healing arts, and I often collect plants along my travels to aid me and my companions. Have you got anything from these southern lands?
Oh, yes, many herbs, many tinctures, many ointments, many cures. 'Tis what I trade in. Perhaps I could interest you in something. Perhaps you have a corn or a rash in an inconvenient place. Such things are what I specialize in.
I have nothing in particular that ails me now, but I do like to be prepared. Often more for wounds, though, and poisons. that one might
Oh,
run
yes,
into in the
yes.
wilds.
My fortifying tonic would, of course, be the perfect solution. It saved many a life from a dangerous snake bite. And perhaps, Bonga, you would care for my all-purpose foot liniment. Promises to keep feet as flexible and as supple whilst keeping their toughness for many years. A regular reapplication is, of course, required.
It's a lovely offer, but no, we hobbits have very particular care for our feet.
Oh, yes, I know. That's why I've made this liniment. It's specially brewed. for my customers in Breeland.
Oh,
Yes.
well, you'll have to let me know how well that does.
The matriarch of the Tunnelly family herself swears by it. Now, the Tunnellys,
Really?
by the way, are the
Yeah.
biggest family in Bree.
Yeah.
Biggest Hobbit family in Bree.
Yes, I've probably met them.
Oh, you definitely met them. They're everywhere.
I've probably messengered for her before.
Yeah, you would have. Yep.
Yep. I've got
Yes.
some of her mail
Oh.
in my pouch right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, so you've been to Bree before then?
Oh, yes. This is not my first trip. Yep. Been here a few times over the years.
Oh, interestingly, I've never seen you around. I travel a lot though.
No, ships in the night. What can I say?
Yes.
Yes. So, terrible business, I gather, at the inn.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Awful.
Terrible business. Tell me, did you see anything?
Well, I heard, doing a bit of Hobbit gossip now.
Right.
I heard from Navi that, don't tell anyone, but I heard from Navi that Edorlass was outside. Edoric, sorry, was outside at the same time as that ranger fellow.
He is quite the ruffian.
I could tell by looking at him.
Exactly.
Look at how big he is.
And look at those scars. Those scars don't happen by accident, I tell you.
Oh, no.
No, that's a man who's lived a hard life. Sometimes hard lives lead to hard decisions.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You should be careful be careful of this Edoric guy. I agree. Yes, I've got my eye on him.
Yes.
And what else? So now I think I can offer you perhaps a fortifying tonic. It's good for the health. Perhaps a sleep tincture. If you rub it on your eyes in the evening, it will allow you to sleep better.
I fear I do not have the coin.
Ah, well,
Fortifying tonic.
that is a sadness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
We rangers live simple lives and
You
rely
rangers-
on what we can gather from the wild.
Sorry, I had not realized you're one of the long striding folk then.
Yes, well, how do you think I survived ranging about the north?
Aha, it all makes much more sense now. So you're a ranger.
Yes.
Children of a broken kingdom. Such a tragic story.
We found our own place in the world still.
Well, you should come to the south where your cousins, my kind, live. We live in civilized places. We have
That
books.
seems...
Goods.
We've got books all over the place, don't we?
Well, of course, you have some books. You have obviously not been to the great libraries of Minas Tirith.
No.
No, I can't say
I
I
have
have.
not-
I mostly travel to the Shire a bit. So I've been to Rivendell.
Ah, I see. Well, Rivendell. Ha! It's a rumor, a myth, I hear. To think a kingdom of the elves still in these lands.
Well,
Such a silliness.
everyone needs letters.
He stops for a moment. He's obviously perplexed by your statement.
Yep.
Sorry, are you saying you have letters of elves in your bag?
I have letters of everyone. I don't
Of
know if I
elves?
have any letters of elves at the moment. Sometimes I do.
Really?
Every now and then. Everyone needs letters.
I see. Well, that is good to know. I shall remember that. Most interesting. Anyway, look, lovely chat. But, got to get on with perhaps making some more tinctures for people who can
Ooh.
afford.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Perhaps when we reach Bree, I might search you out.
Well, please do, particularly if you have coin.
Oh yes.
Always keen to meet fellow travelers, especially ones with coin.
Points.
I understand that.
Yes. Now, through this whole conversation, Berelas has said nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, she's been completely silent.
He's done all the talking.
Yeah. How does she look? What's her
Okay.
like what's her expression kind of?
Okay, so do you want to make an insight roll for me?
I would love to make an insight roll for you.
You've even got insight. I can see it on your
I
character
do
sheet.
have insight.
Hmm.
Woo. Let's see how this goes.
Roll them.
Nice.
Wow, that's a good roll. Yeah. No, nothing but base success, but yeah, still
But yeah.
a solid base success.
Yeah.
Okay, so Berelas is probably the most important thing to realize about Berelas is she seems very much to want to say something at various points in the conversation and then effectively catches her own tongue.
Right. Yeah. So she's keeping herself quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I get another, because you've been talking to this guy for a while, so can I get an insight roll from both of you? So that's Yorith and Bonga.
I don't think I can do insight. I don't have it.
Oh, well, you can
No.
always, okay, then you don't have to roll.
Yeah. No, I've got no.
I rolled a 12 on my feet dice. I got a 22.
Okay, so you got a good success. So
Pretty good success.
okay, so okay, he does not like Eorith at all.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, as you're walking away, you hear him sort of turn to Berelas and go, "Dirty little rangers everywhere, like
Little.
wolves."
Yep. It's clearly not a ranger fan.
Clearly not a ranger fan.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys can sort of, you're all aware of what's been said and not said. Is there, so with what you now know, is there anything else you would like to specifically target?
So
It's okay. It's okay if the answer is no. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I can't think of anything at the moment. So her linen is like, he's got motive. Hates rangers.
Yep.
The dwarves had motive because they thought that Paul was getting into this stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
And Adoric had, is that right? I can't.
And yeah, and Adoric, we don't know if he has any motive, but he was
present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just before the murder happened.
Yeah.
So, and how does that tie up with Rovin's assessment of who was more likely?
Well, he had all 4 dwarves.
Yeah.
Berelas and her linen are the top kind of
3 dwarves. He didn't think.
Oh, that's
Vig.
right. Not
didn't
Vig,
think
because
Vig.
he was too old.
Yep.
But the 3 younger dwarves, Berelas and her linen, are our top suspects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm most suspicious of her linen now.
Yep. That's a reasonable thing to hold a suspicion against based on his behavior.
Yeah.
So we've got like evidence coming from 2 directions now that he might have. So murder weapon.
Was a knife.
It was a knife. Who's got a knife that we think could have done the deed? And
Did we find the knife stuck in his back When we
No.
came out of the well?
No,
No, you found
found,
his knife.
That's where I found
yeah,
his
Bella's
knife. Yes. Yeah.
So there's the murder weapon, and then there's also like who would be capable of casting some kind of magical spell. So I think we might have to break into the apothecary caravan to see if they've got magic herbs in there rather than just healing herbs or like magical equipment.
Yep.
I mean, I could imagine a situation where what's Helena's partner's name?
Berelas.
Berelas. Maybe
Berelas.
she is the magic wielder. Maybe she cast the spell, but he did the slice
deed.
it. Yeah.
Actually,
And
I
Dragon and
was
Kraken.
thinking myself, when we kind of sat down for the evening, camped down for the evening.
Yeah.
I am going to try and talk to Berelas
Okay.
because Herlinen was very, in that conversation and Berelas was not. I
Okay.
want to
Yeah.
kind of get an idea of her.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, look, it's late after. It's sort of mid to late afternoon. Your caravan is moving along when suddenly, running up the side of the road at some speed, is a small, not small child, like a early teenager. So her name, I'll just find her name. I'm pretty sure it's Daisy. Daisy. Hold on, I've missed it. I've gone past it. Yeah, it's Daisy. All right. So Daisy appears on the horizon.
She a
Okay.
human teenager?
Yep, human teenager. Yep, she's a Breelander. So she's from around these parts even. So she's, is that the one? Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. A young girl called Daisy. Yep. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay. So Daisy is, sort of about 10, maybe 11, clearly human. She runs up to the caravan and starts waving and yelling as she does so. Sirs, and ma'ams, we need your help. The caravan, Ederic, sort of, who's walking in front of the caravan. Oh, what is it, young one? It's my mother, Heather. She's come sick with the plague, with the sickness. Not the plague. The plague would be a big deal. She's come sick with the sickness.
We wouldn't be going to help. She's plague.
No, it was like,
No,
oh,
no.
well, okay.
Right, well,
Well,
good luck with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Yeah, she's come sick with the sickness. You've got to come now. There's a healer in your caravan, isn't there? And Herlinen goes, yeah, it's healing for those who can afford it. Anyway, okay, so there's quite a discussion developing at the front of the caravan between Ederic, Mirabar, Berelas, and Herlinen. Now, it's up to you whether you want to get involved in that conversation around
I'm going to
whether they're
listen.
going to stop or continue.
I'm going to walk up and listen in, and if Herlinen does not choose to help this woman, then I will go.
Okay, so the interesting thing is Berelas actually wants to help the woman. So Berelas is very staunchly of the opinion that we need to go and help. Yeah. And Herlinen is like, starts arguing against it and then goes quite silent as she makes a more forceful argument. And so it really boils down to a debate between her and Mirabar. So Mirabar is very, this is a delay. We can't afford the delay. The child is clearly overstating the level of sickness of their mother. Children, you can't trust them. They're emotional and given to whimsy. And Berelas is going, we don't know that. We need to go and check. I'm a healer. We need to go and see if they require healing. We have paid you to travel with your caravan. This is part of that arrangement. So there's quite a debate developing between the two of them. Does anyone want to intervene in that debate?
I do.
would. Yes, I would.
Oh, everyone's getting
We all
involved.
could, well, I think we could offer to escort Berelas to the woman and then come and rejoin the caravan. We would protect her.
I was gonna say I could even offer to pay him if he's really that, stingent about it.
Because they'll be moving really slowly and we could move much more quickly than the caravan.
So you can
Yes.
catch up. So your
Yeah,
suggestion is
so
the
we could-
caravan moves on and then some of you depart.
And we'll go off and we'll protect her on the road and then
Right.
we'll meet them at the campsite.
Okay, so
Mhm.
all right. So Owen also wants to come with Berelas. And it becomes quite apparent very quickly that Owen has what can only be described as a crush on Berelas.
Right.
He's about 18.
Yep.
She looks about 25, 26. And he's clearly got, puppy dog eyes going on the whole time. So he would like to travel as well. Are you all offering to escort her?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to kind of try and comfort the Daisy as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Rovendo, what are you doing? Are you coming with us?
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
and Burren, are you traveling with everyone else as well?
So what happened since I was sitting with the dwarf smoking? I'm confused.
Oh, so you were sitting with the dwarf smoking, and then a young girl ran up to the caravan by the name of Daisy. She's been yelling out that her mother's sick and she needs help, and the healer Berelas has agreed to go to visit the mother, and everyone else in the group has agreed to escort her there. So they're suggesting the caravan travels on because it's traveling very slowly. You'll easily catch back up, and the rest of you go off and find out what's going on, and then come back with the healer once you've
Okay.
done the
So
necessary healing.
I'll just politely say goodbye to the dwarfs, and I'll stand up and then meet with the rest of the group.
Okay, so you guys are all heading off towards Daisy's mother's house with Berelas and Owen.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, and you're a skilled healer, aren't you, Eroth?
Sort of. I can roll some dice.
What's your healing skill?
2.
Well, you're not unskilled.
I'm not unskilled, and it's a favored skill for me.
Okay, so you're actually pretty decent. Okay, so you guys all her linen is like Helenan wants to come initially, but I think he decides. No, he does. Yes, Helenan is going to come as well,
Be a party with
and
everything.
one of the other dwarves, Navi, also puts his hand up. So it's quite a pack of you, right?
Bloody hell.
So there's Owen, Helenan, Berelas, and Eowyn, and all of you. Now you could.
Navi.
Yeah, Navi, one of the two younger dwarves.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
trying
Just
to work
noting
out
that down.
why.
Just noting that down. Okay. So good Lord, what, 9
Everyone's
plus
gonna-
Daisy, 10 of you.
Her linen is ruining my plan. I was like, yes, we'll get
her linen is quite insistent
to
that he
it.
comes. I will bring some of my cure-alls. And Berelas, and if you would like to make an awareness roll, Eorith.
Oh, yes, I've got some of that.
You
Yes.
do. Look at that. That's a success. And
Oh my God, it is.
and you hear Berelas whisper under her in a very, sort of voce way. I thought we were trying to heal them. She just sort of mutters that towards her linen.
Yeah.
And then they all of you.
Clearly, she's actually a healer.
Yeah,
He
you
sells
all
snake oil.
you all head off. You all head
Yes.
off as a giant posse towards the
Yeah.
towards Straddle, which is this sort of outlying village of Bree. So it's a sort of pretty heavily populated by hobbits, but also weirdly sort of the poorer part of Bree.
Yeah.
Not for the hobbits maybe, but for the humans who live there. So you go up the road, you head into Straddle, and Daisy takes you straight to this sort of lone cottage that's quite a ways from the rest of the town. It's a bit sort of ramshackle. There's clear evidence that things are falling apart around the cottage, like it's not well maintained. The mother, Berelas, basically says, look, the rest of you, just wait out here for a second. I will go and tend to the woman and see how ill or how not ill she is. The rest of you, should wait out here, except perhaps Yorith and Helinen, who both have claimed, who both have healing skills. If you would like to join me quickly to examine what is going on, that will be fine.
Thank you. I will come with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna look after Daisy. This must be a very stressful experience.
Yeah.
Suddenly these 9,
It's like a whole posse of giants.
Yeah, like there's like
Scary, scary.
I'm the same height as her. We're like
yeah. She probably just thinks you're another child.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She lives with hobbits. So around hobbits.
So you three go. Does anyone else go into the cabin? I mean, Berelas is quite insistent that only people with actual healing skills should go in, but does anyone else want to go in?
There's a no.
That's a no.
I'll go in.
Okay.
I actually do have a healing one as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Ravan will
there you
also
go.
go.
There you
The
go.
elf.
Okay, so you step into the cottage. There's actually a window on the cottage. So there is one window sort of facing, so you can see into the room, sort of. So if you're standing outside, you can look in. Can I get healing roll? So both an older woman, once again to the elf, basically just another human who's dying, and a child. So a younger child than Daisy, probably female, who can tell, are in there. Can I get healing rolls, please, from the 2 people with healing skill?
Yeah. Can I get a bonus for my herb pouch?
Not for this, because this isn't about healing. This is just about recognizing something.
Okay, go. Alrighty. Roll this and hopefully.
Mm.
Oh, I got a 12.
Look at you on a roll. What about you, Roven? Are you going to roll?
Oh, but I still
No.
didn't even succeed. Like,
No,
how does it work?
didn't
No, you
succeed.
did succeed.
You did succeed.
You did succeed because a 12 automatically succeeds.
Succeeds. Okay, good, because I only got 2.
You only got 2 ones because you would have
Yeah.
discounted the 4, yeah. Okay, so your realization is that both of these people are dying. Like they're dying as in it would require, really significant healing skill well beyond your own to save their lives.
Yeah.
Rovan, you can make the same assumption.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, hold on, you rolled an 8. No, you
No, I
can't.
didn't succeed. That's what I
No,
said.
you failed. Sorry, I didn't see your. Sorry, I missed it, and I didn't see your number
Yeah,
in the
that's
middle
all right. Moving on.
there. Okay, so yes, so they're clearly dying. And there's
Faster than normal.
nothing you can do about it. Like it's well beyond your skills. At this point, Berelas turns to you and says, I believe they are quite ill. It will require some dedicated healing to save their lives. but I think I can. It does not look like it is as deadly as it may first have appeared to the child. I believe I can. I believe I have the necessary skills to save them. Now, do you want to make because you're actually in the room, you can make an insight roll if you want, either of you.
Okay, well, I can't make
Oh,
an
yeah.
insight roll because I have none.
I can, because it is a favoured skill, and I've got 2 in it.
Excellent.
All
Well, I'm going to look suitably impressed by her and say,
Ooh,
I would love to watch your work because this would
Yeah,
be as
absolutely.
well beyond my skills to
Okay.
help these people.
So the funny thing is, one of you knows that you need better healing skill to save them. The other one doesn't. The one who doesn't know has made the insight roll
with an extra success.
with an additional success. You've got an additional success. Claim it, own it, call it George. Okay. So you don't. I mean, you know, they're dying or something. Human skills, whatever.
Puppies, what can we
Puppies.
say?
Yeah, exactly. She's clearly lying when she says what she says. Like, she is lying through her teeth.
You have special tinctures that could help these people?
Yes, I will need some of her linen's special ointments. And I will need space to do this. So I will have to ask both of you to leave while I work. I can't be distracted by other people in the room. So out. And tell her linen I need 2 of his cure-alls.
Okay, right. Once we're outside of the room, I'm like going to say to Rowan, God, I can't believe she can heal those people. They're so clearly dying. What?
She can't. I saw it in her eyes.
What?
Unless she has some special potion.
Do you get the tinctures, the cure-alls?
Yeah, I'll go down and I'll ask him for the cure-alls.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, didn't he actually come up with us?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So we can just send him off to go and get them. Off you go, Helen.
He's parked outside.
Cool. Shouldn't you be going and getting the tinctures?
Oh, she needs tinctures. He grabs 2 vials out of a side bag that he has with him. He didn't bring the whole cart up the hill. He's just got the side bag, but he goes, sure. Is she saying she needs these to heal them?
Yes. Here, I'll take them in.
He looks confused.
I bring the tinctures in. I grab them off him and bring them into the room.
Excellent. Oh, thank you. I will use those. They are perfect. They're magical properties, you know, that we've embedded in these potions will no doubt save their lives. You can go now.
They smell of mint.
They do smell a bit of coriander. I especially mentioned because you can't stand coriander, as I recall. So she grabs the potions. She gets you all outside.
Right.
You see her. She's actually building up the fire and putting blankets on them, like extra blankets. Like, it's quite a warm day. It's not cold.
Okay.
She's building up the fire. She's put extra blankets.
Did you think they had a fever? Whispering to the ranger.
Well, they actually did have a fever, but she's
okay.
Yeah, they would have had a fever. So, but she's building up the heat in the room quite significantly. She's got the 2 tinctures.
Yeah, she's going to try and sweeten it out. I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
All right.
We're spying through the window.
We'll watch.
Yeah, you're spying through the window. It's, you know, it's kind of medieval glass, so
it's a bit smoky.
It's a bit smoky, a bit, you know, rubbish. You look through the window. You're all sort of peering in, assumedly.
I'm playing with Daisy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're playing with Daisy.
Keeping her distracted.
So you're a bit further away from the action then?
Yeah.
That's a reasonable assumption, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
'cause
everyone
I'm
else
trying
is
to keep
clustered
Daisy
around the window.
away and distracted. You know?
And you're a bit further away from the action. Okay, that's excellent to know. Okay. Can I get oh, I know what's going wrong. I'm not using the right thing. I'm going to need to put up.
I'll just be, like smoking off to the side. Like, wonder what gets people so sick these days.
Wonder what causes people to
The
get ill.
snobbery of rich dwarves.
Yeah.
The snobbery of rich dwarves. I love it. Okay, so we're going to need this sheet. I think it's just show party. Is that how it works? I assume so.
Pop up in that middle section. Woo.
Okay, so this is a combat sheet.
Okay.
Hey.
Straight from healing to combat. Hmm.
Okay, so it'll be great. We get to play through a combat. That's awesome, right? Everyone's excited about that, correct?
Yeah. In theory, yeah.
Okay, so you're all sort of glazing through the window. Bonga, can you make an awareness roll for me, please?
An awareness roll.
An awareness roll.
Struggles
Maybe-
awareness is strength. I'm
Yeah.
not going to succeed this awareness roll.
Oh, you
Let's-
need to clear your
Oh
thing.
wait, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You could roll a
Wait.
12. It can happen.
It can happen. There's like an 8% chance.
No.
No. Okay. You're obviously distracted by Daisy.
Yeah.
All right. I actually showed that just a trifle too early. I'll just see if I've got the picture. Oh, I don't have the picture. I have to put it up there. Okay, that's fine. I will do that. I will do it that way, and then you can see it. Tell me when he pops up.
Ooh.
I can
Smirky
see-
undead.
No way.
What the
Icy undead, maybe even.
Ugh.
Possibly a cold
Icy.
something.
Hold on, he's a bit big. I'm just going to shrink him a little
I
bit.
sense an unease in that room.
It's not in the room. It's with you guys.
How's it?
It's outside with us.
It's outside with you.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway,
Yay.
doesn't matter. Okay, so suddenly there's a sweeping cold wind that rips through the whole landscape out of the late afternoon sun. Yeah, actually, I don't think this thing likes late afternoons. So maybe it stays in the shadows. Yeah, okay. You see in the trees, you feel this cold wind wash through the air, and then you hear this low, forsaken moan, like the sound of the howling winds on the icy mountains. This blue, shadowy smoke thing flits from shadow to shadow and in the trees around you. You all look around, and your eyesight is drawn away from whatever is happening inside the hut as you see this thing, this terrible thing, appear in the shade. As you do so, you see Owen, who has foolishly perhaps been standing under a tree to hide from, to shield him from the reasonably warm sun of the afternoon, glance up and see this thing racing towards him. Okay, so now it's initiative. Now, initiative in this game is bloody simple. Unless there's actually surprise, you guys go first and they go second. The first thing you can do is you can throw your ranged weapons. You get 1 round of basically range combat, and then you get to choose your stances. So is anyone throwing any weapons at it? Would anyone like to make any law rolls?
I would like to make a law roll, please.
I would
Okay.
love to make a law roll.
I'd like to throw a spear at it.
Okay. So
Start
we've
with
got,
that.
all right. So declaration of actions then are, Bonga, what are you doing?
Well, as soon as I see it, I'm going to get out my bow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see it and you're going to shoot it with an arrow.
Yeah.
Rovendol, you're going to go, what the hell is it?
Yep, and go law roll. Yep.
Go law roll. Mulgren, you're instantly picking up you're unclasping your spear from your back and just hurling it straight at the creature.
Yep.
Look, Eorith, what are you doing? You're also trying to
Law
understand
roll.
what it is.
Yeah.
And Buren, what are you doing?
What is what was the thing for enemy that I had for undead? Does that have any?
Yes, you have undead law as a specific distinctive feature.
Oh,
What
good.
Well,
does
that's
that mean?
handy.
So what that means is practically if you roll a law roll, or if there are other things as well, but if you roll the law roll, you can use your hope to inspire the roll, and instead of getting a bonus dice, you get a bonus 2 dice from the hope spend. So you'll
Oh,
roll
okay.
4 dice plus, because it's using your distinctive feature.
Okay, so I'll do that then.
Okay, so it costs you a hope point to get the extra 2 dice. So deduct 1 from your hope, and then click on law, and then add 2 dice from the top.
Then add 2 dice from the top.
Yeah.
Are they D6s or D12s?
It's not a favored roll unless it's a favored skill. So no, it's just add 2 dice. It's add 2 additional success dice. So what's your law?
My lord's 1.
Yeah, so you get 1, and then you get to add 2d6 from above.
Okay, so how do I add?
You just click on the d6s twice.
Up the top.
Oh, I see
Ve-
at the top. Okay.
At very much at the top. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep. That's it. Okay. Wow.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So you got 19.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Have you got 3 in law?
I only have
Rovandol.
1.
Yes.
Oh.
my gut.
And you just succeeded because you got to get rid of that 11.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, that's 0.
I get 10, so no, I've got no idea.
You got no idea. Okay. It is some sort of fell wraith, is very apparently what it is. We are going to roll its ability. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so that's what you 3 do. The 2 people who are hurling weapons, roll your attack skill, please. So that is roll your combat skill.
Right. So I will roll my bows. Combat.
Spears.
And it's just straight up the that, right? The
Mm.
2d6 for me and a d12. Yep. Okay.
I did not get it.
I got it. I
Ooh.
got it. I have 18 as a target number. I am not good at combat. I should. This is
Yay!
scary.
Which is great. Now you've got its attention.
I shot it with my fell bow.
I shot it with my spells.
Nice.
Okay, so you shoot it with an arrow. The arrow
Yeah.
passes straight through its body, having
Oh, even though it's a
absolutely no
fell
effect.
weapon,
All
nothing.
right.
So Thomas, what do I know about these things?
Okay, so it's some sort of wraith, and in particular, it's the sort of wraith that doesn't have a material body. So what that means is non-magical weapons. And you've got sort of special weapons, but not magical weapons, right? So
Yeah.
your fell weapons, your other weapons, they're not magic. They're good
Yeah.
and somewhat, special, but they're not, I've got, Orcrist, the magic sword that Gandalf wields, through most of the thing. So yeah, it's probably based on the fact that it is some sort of cold wraith, you think it'll be vulnerable to fire. So torches, as in lit torches, is probably your best bet for driving it away. You don't think you can destroy it, but you can definitely drive it away.
Okay.
So we're outside of the room right now, aren't we?
You are.
I'm racing in to 1, see if she's okay on what's happening in the room, and 2, to pull out my 2 torches in my backpack.
Okay, so you're
And
racing in to light
Put them in the fire that she's just stoked up.
Okay, so you smash the door. So your action will be you're gonna basically burst through the door, and with the 2 torches try and light them up. That's going to be your action.
Yep.
By the way, we need people to choose stances. So the way stances work is they set you up. They're not what order you are. So forward does not mean in front. defensive does not mean at the back, right? It just means the attitude you're taking to fighting. So forward means that you get a bonus to hit. However, your opponents get a bonus to hit as well. So it's a sort of, you know, thrusting forward, exposing yourself to risk and striking your enemies with power. Open means that you're taking the middle stance. You're not holding either. Defensive means that your opponents take less, they lose a dice to hit you, but you lose a dice to hit them. So it's effectively putting the shield up and, you know, bunkering in, or taking the, you know, if you've got a two-handed axe, fending off your opponents and swinging when you need to. And rearward literally means standing with a ranged weapon and trying to stay out of hand-to-hand range completely. And shooting them. Now, not everyone can take rearward, just so that's clear. Quick decisions, guys. What stances do you want to take? And here's a hint, forward might not be the right one for this fight.
It changes each round as well, by the way. You can take a stance for this cycle of the initiative, and then you could switch to another one.
Now, what I'm going to rule, Rob, is you're actually not engaged at the moment because you're running into the room. You're not actually trying to face it down at all.
Would I be able to do the same thing, like just get away because I know my weapons aren't going to work?
Well, you can, but then it'll be unhindered in its actions.
What do you mean?
I mean, it'll get to do whatever it wants to do to everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my character, knowing what it is, knows that it's best to not stand and try and attack it. So I think I would probably do something similar with Rob, and as Rob does, and try and find some type of fire. I don't know what I would do probably, but I would definitely be running back and notifying everyone, saying, "Your weapons don't work. You can't kill it.
You cannot kill it with that.
You cannot kill it with steel."
My question is, why did it just suddenly turn up? Has someone summoned it?
An excellent question, probably for later.
Correct.
It does determine like whether I want to actually target killing one of the people.
Okay, so all right. Well, it is your turn, Eorith. What are you going to do? Are you gonna? I'm
pulling out my sword and I'm running over to the dude who's standing in the trees like a muppet about to get taken out by a Wraith, and like drag him out of the way.
Okay, so are you going to just try and keep it back as much as possible?
Yeah.
So you're going to go defensive, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. So we'll put you on. I just need to move that out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Token. So that's you. I'm sorry for naming you incorrectly. Should fix that up. So you're on defensive. Okay. What about you, Mallorn? What are you doing? You don't have any special knowledge.
I don't.
Although you did see the arrow pass through it.
I did see the arrow pass through it.
Yelled at us that our weapons won't work against it.
That is true.
Yes. So I don't know what will work against it, but I know my weapons won't. So I'm going to take defensive stance and try and get between it and everyone else.
Okay. All right. So Mallorn, you are doing the same thing as Eorith. That's fine. So I put you on defensive as well. I should really shrink your tokens. I've made them too big. Let me edit the token scale down. Set token
the Lord of the Rings soundtrack that I'm listening to is switched to Sauron the Wise with lots of big choir.
Oh, nice. That was, and there. Edit token scale. There we go. Set token scale. Yep, that's better. A little bit more sized to allow us to put more than one person per thing. Okay, and then Bonga.
Yeah, I'm going rearward.
Right. So you're gonna shoot. You're gonna shoot at it.
I'm gonna. Well.
So here's the thing. What about Daisy? Yeah. What are you doing about Daisy, Bonga?
Yeah, actually, I want to try and get Daisy away.
Give Daisy a sword. Yeah.
I want to try and get Daisy away.
Okay.
From everything.
Okay, then I'm going to put you in defensive.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, because you might have to take a risk.
Yep. Okay.
To do that.
Yep. Fair enough.
Okay, so you're also defensive. All right, so all of you are at -1 dice, but it's at -1 dice to hurt you. So that probably is a good decision. Buren, you have run into the cabin as well, then the cottage as well, to try and find stuff to light to turn into fire.
Yeah.
Fire made it good. And can I get an awareness roll, because it's not scanned? Can I get an awareness roll from both Buren and Rovan, please?
Mm-hmm. Awareness. I remember awareness. Bink. Wheel of Fortune.
Almost.
Yeah, I make it by 1.
Okay. You see Berelas as you burst in. Okay, so the first thing is when you run into the room, it's actually even colder in here than it was outside. And second of all, you see Berelas slip something off her finger as you run into the room.
Okay. There's a Wraith out there.
Shit.
We need the fires.
Okay. The fires have died down quite a bit.
What?
The fires have died down quite a bit. Like, so she
Why
had a
is it
burning sort of, furious
She had a
fire.
blaze going.
Yeah, and it's quite cold and the fires have died down, but they are still lit. There is still lit fire here.
All right. Well, let's put the torches on there and kindle things up.
Okay.
How are the people looking, just quickly?
No, that'll take too much time.
Okay, fair enough. Torches in.
Torches in the
break
fire
it.
and run out with flaming
Yep.
torches. So I assume you pass one to Buren, who's run into the room with you.
Yep.
Okay.
Take this.
All right. So Buren, you've got a flaming torch
Thanks,
now.
Roland.
Okay. So you two are running outside with the fire torches.
Yep.
You see, as you run outside, you see your brave fellow compatriots, Mallorn and Eorith, step bravely up to the Wraith to try and slow it down. Eorith dives basically in the way of Eowyn, who's stupidly exposed himself to risk. And Mallorn charges in, sword and shield in his shoulder, but obviously defensive, ready to fend it off. And you see Bonga grab Daisy and try and run away from the Wraith. I assume that's basically the scene that we see.
Yep.
Okay, so the first thing is everyone, and I'm going to stop sharing now because I need to be able to.
Secretly, roll
Sneakily.
things.
I need to be able to.
Sneaky.
I need to be able to see my character sheet. I need to be able to see my character sheets, which is tricky when you're all looking. Yay! There he is.
Has this just switched to? Oh yeah, it's just switched to the Nazgul right now on the Lord of the Rings track. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Perfect timing.
I'm listening to Bread for War from the Battle of Five Armies.
Okay, I need it lifts itself and sort of spreads itself as far as it can, and this howling wind races down upon you. Can I get Eorith, Mallorn, and Bonga to each make a dread roll, please?
Okay, where will we find this?
It's a valor roll.
Valor roll. Okay. Where is that?
It's basically causing you shadow.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sure I will do very well at this. Oh, I got a 12. I did do very well.
He says, "Take that."
Aha! I fear
Oh.
no Wraith. It's already
I
dead.
got a 1.
You got a 1.
Oh god, I got 8.
5 of 14.
5 of 14.
I got 8. So how many points of shadow do we
Okay,
take?
so you take 2 points of shadow unless you make the save, and then you only take 1 point. So basically each success deducts 1 point of shadow. So Mallorn,
Right.
you take 1 point.
Mhm.
And yeah, so you take 1 point.
Yep.
Okay, so it races down upon you, and tries to reach out and touch you with its cold.
Oh, I don't want it to touch me.
It's going to attack. I'll just roll a d6. Roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, it's attacking you, Eorith.
Yeah, of course it is. I'm scary, clearly.
Yeah,
And I'm
you're
standing in
clearly-
front of its target prey.
You are standing in front of its current prey, and oh no, that's not what I meant. I wanted to do that instead. Okay, because you've reduced, so it would have normally rolled a d12 plus 3 dice because it's quite good at this. The good news for you is because of your defensive decision, it now needs to roll a d12 plus 2 dice. Its target number is your parry skill. Is your parry, which is found under your wits.
Ooh, where? Sorry. Oh, okay. That's 18.
Your parry is 18?
Apparently.
Was that your target number?
No, that
No.
could be it.
No.
If parry
Parry's
is
got the
18,
plus
mine's
minus
20.
next to it.
Oh no,
It
hold
is?
on.
Wait.
You've got because your what's your wits?
4.
Okay, now no, you've got 12 plus wits. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
My
And then-
parry
wait,
is
and-
20.
No,
so,
and have
know.
you got a shield as well, Eorith?
No, I don't know how we work this number out. It's just in
Okay.
here.
I'm pretty sure actually if I have a look, I bet you've bought the virtue that gives you +2 to parry. No, you've got grievous
No.
and mastery
Total and healing.
and your
Let's have a look.
I'm just going to look. No, your parry is 18 according to this. Yeah, okay. All right, for now I'm just whatever. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Okay. So I've got to hit an 18. I do not, unsurprisingly, hit an 18. Okay. So it claws at you with its horrific powers and you ward it off with your shield.
Do you want to know the good news? I've just looked up Range of the North and they get wits plus 14.
Holy
So it's a
crap.
19 is the target.
No, hold on. It's not 19.
Yes, it is.
Oh, she got
I'm
wits
looking
5.
at it right here. Wits plus 14.
No, but
no,
her
but
wits
my
is-
wits is only 4. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's
correct.
18.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah, you're
So
right.
that so
Okay.
you get a 14 base. That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Dunedain make
Person
great
like to fight.
great fighters. Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
they're
that's what I'm
like
for.
Uber. They're Uber.
Yeah.
Okay, so it swings at you, it claws at you, but you're able to somehow duck and weave and dodge out of its way. And its claws fail to land upon you. At the same time, you can furiously strike back at it, but I can assure you it has no effect.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, we have both. We have a new start of another combat round. I'll just quickly move forward. And it has. Oh, actually, I need to go back to it now that I've worked that out. Hold on, and I need to go to it. Yep, we used one for that. Okay, so you guys race out with your flaming torches.
Yep.
It's staying in the shadow. It's obviously not coming into the sunlight as well.
Well,
may-
I just go straight for it with the torch.
Right. So are you
Got
going aggressive?
My buckler shield with spear and torch running towards it.
Okay. So what stance are you taking?
I'm going to go forward. What the hell?
Okay. So you're going forward. And what about you, Buren?
I'm gonna go forward too,
All right. So you both basically charge it, for want of better
Yep.
language.
like madmen.
Like madmen,
Yeah.
flaming torches to the fore. I like it. I don't have a character for you. I don't have a token. I don't have a picture for you.
Oh.
All right, I'll just use Ederic for now, and we'll have to get a token for you. Sorry,
That's all good.
Buren. Okay, so you two are in the front. Okay, so you race up flaming torches, trying to force it back.
Ah!
We'll force it into the sunshine.
Or force it
Well,
into
can
the
I thrust the
sunshine.
torch into it?
You can, yeah. So I assume that's what you're doing. Actually,
Yep.
I made that assumption. So we're going to treat that as if it's brawling.
Which
Seems
that's
legit.
all right. It's
So can you make a brawling roll for me, please.
So that is my highest level skill -1 dice.
Yeah. Now you actually have a brawling, like the brawling thing is still on the character sheet because actually on hindsight I thought it would be easier if you just maintained it.
Yeah,
So
That's
it is currently 1, I think, for you. So yep. That should work.
it is. But also because I'm forward, I get an extra dice, don't I?
You do.
Oh, nice.
All right. So that's
Hold on.
that.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
Gaijin, not you. Don't worry. Yep, it's all good. Yep, go.
All right. Let's do this. 9. Take that.
Aha! It has a better. You fail to hit it,
Fair enough.
but
I'm-
it does. But you do force it back with the flaming torch. Like the torch by itself is a problem for it.
Okay, good.
So even if you don't hit it, it does get weakened by the torch. You see it
Excellent.
noticeably curl away from the heat. Dr. Gaijin,
And we've got 2 torches.
Buren. Ah, that's less good. You rolled an 11. No, he rolled an 11.
Bugger.
Oh,
How did
So
I?
an 11 is
Oh.
actually a 0.
Oh, so if I get anything with an 11, it's a 0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
Sauron dice, apparently.
yeah, it's the
Okay.
dice of Snoron. And I haven't put target numbers on that, which is annoying for me. So what was your total? 9, it was-
is it, I
23,
just
wasn't it?
cleared it.
Yeah, and then minus 11 is 12. So you also don't hit it because your target number would have been 13.
What, didn't I roll a 13?
I don't know.
No, because
Is-
you rolled 23 minus 11 is 12.
I guess I'm confused how the dice thing works.
Okay, yeah. So
It's okay.
you rolled a 23. Your total value was 23. The
Okay.
11 didn't count. So 11 of 23 is 12.
Oh, the 11 goes away. So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
you still force it back with the fire. Like it doesn't like the fire.
Okay.
You still force it, like you can see it melting away from the heat and the flame. It's clearly
Excellent.
not comfortable with it.
Cool.
Do the other, so Bonga, you've taken Daisy away. Where do you want to put Daisy?
That's a good question.
The safest place
I-
is actually the room where the
Is
fire
it?
is.
I think so. It's got fire in it.
I don't think so. But anyway, I can't say that because it's meta knowledge.
Meta knowledge.
Okay, are you taking the girl into
Yeah,
the
I'll
cottage?
take her inside.
Okay,
I'll-
great.
yeah.
That's your action.
Yeah.
You pick her up, you run into the cottage. The heat is returning.
Okay.
And Berelas is looking out the window quite concerned.
Yeah.
She turns to you as you run in and says, "Quick, take this." And she passes you like a whole like a bucket full of hot coals that she's obviously that she's shoveled into the steel bucket.
Very practical woman.
And tells you to run outside with them, but that'll be next turn when you
Yeah.
appear again. Okay. Mulgren and Eorith, what are you guys doing? You see your 2 compatriots run forward with the torches and it shies away from the heat. Like you can actually see it sort of writhe away and sort of slightly melt away from the heat.
I'm just going to look around on the ground and see if I can see a dry stick on the ground, like a decent sized one.
Okay, maybe a branch.
A branch of some kind. Yeah, like
Yes.
dry I could grab.
You can probably see you can see rushes and other things, like you can see roofing and people have got, piles of wood outside their near around the corner of their homes, like that sort of thing. I mean, if you're looking for something to burn, which I assume is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But it is spring, so not dry,
Yeah.
sort of branches on the ground per se, but sure. Okay.
I'll just grab a piece of wood that's leaning up against the house.
Okay. Or, well, I assume you want to catch on fire. So,
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's what you're doing. And what about you, Mulgren?
I do have my lantern, assumably on my horse, which is around here somewhere.
Yeah.
But I kind of just want to trying to keep it off of everyone else if I can. So
Okay, so one
Stay
thing
the
you
wall.
can choose to do, instead of actually attacking, you can do what's called protect a companion.
Mhm.
And what that does is that makes it you basically, I think, actually, hold on, I'll just double check. But I think Protect Companion means that it has one less dice to attack a friend. So you can actually shield someone else instead of attacking it.
Oh yeah.
Which
Yeah.
seems like it's pretty much on point for what you want to achieve, right? So let me just quickly find the combat bit, which is obviously after that bit and before that bit. Come on. Councils, complications, combat. Yay! Okay, so well, yeah, you don't want that to happen. Engagement. Here we go. Defensive. Combat task, protect companion. Combat task, protect companion. Sorry, I've not played the game, so I'm just trying to find where that is written. I mean, it's a great game, but yeah, they could actually, I'm just going to say they could put things closer to each other. Okay. Okay, so a player hero assuming defensive stance may choose to protect another hero fighting in close combat. To do so, you make a battle roll as the main action for the round. On a success roll, the next attack aimed at the protected person loses a d6 plus a d6 for every success icon you roll.
Right. So, rolling a combat skill, you said?
No, battle roll.
Battle roll.
Battle roll.
Battle the skill.
That's
You at least have it.
That's a heart skill.
Is it? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So I do have one dice in it.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
Okay. So no, you don't protect anyone.
But didn't it say one dice plus every success?
On a successful roll.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, then, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Protecting
so you
might
try
not
and
be-
protect. Doesn't help. Okay.
Yep.
The creature lances out its cold, frozen claws at. It's got 3 opponents who it can readily hit. So 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. It's attacking Rovandol.
Alrighty.
Okay, now the bad news is I get
Plus 1 die.
I do. So I get to do that, and then I get to add another die, and then I get to roll. Holy fuck, that's terrible.
18 is your target.
Not even close. What do I get? 3, 8, 14.
I do not fear the dead.
Okay. It's obviously trying to get around the flaming torch, and it can't do it, right? Like it's trying to get around, and it hasn't got a successful hit yet. It's going to use its fear effect on you two now.
Oh,
So
goody.
can I get you both to make a valor roll, please?
Fella.
Is that me as well?
It's all 3 of you. Yep. So
Yep.
it's Rovan, Mallorn, and
So what was the Valor roll
Buren.
again?
I'm going to go insane by the end of this first combat.
It's
God.
a valor roll is a heart roll, but you're using valor. If you just click on valor, you'll get it. It's there.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
calculated. I've done it all.
Oh, I just got to find.
So it's 2 shadow, right?
Yep.
Yep.
There
Cool.
it is. Oh boy, here we go. Nope.
No.
Missed it by 2.
And Buren?
And Valor is at the bottom. I see it at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't get any bonuses from our stance or anything like that.
Nope.
Nope.
Got nothing. Rolled nothing.
Okay. It tries to. It successfully gives you each 2 shadow.
Okay.
Please add that to your shadow totals.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Then you feel the cold winds breathe upon you. Now, the next round, Bonga, you've now got a whole pail full of burning coals.
Yeah, I do, and I am going to throw them at the Wraith.
So you just run out with the thing and hoik it directly at it.
Yep.
What stance do you want to take?
To throw the things.
Well, you sort.
Yeah. Throw the stuff. I'm gonna go with forward. I think.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Also
I'm gonna
forward.
go forward.
Yep. And Eorith, what about you? You've got the, you race up. You've got the thing. Are you going to ignite it and try and push it back?
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally my
Okay.
brain.
Okay. All right. So who goes first? I think I'll rule that the two people who are already engaged in combat go first. So Rovan, do you want to try and hit it with your flaming torch again?
Indeed, I will. Find things on the sheet. There we go. Rolling, add 1. And do it. That's an 18. That hits.
It does. Okay. So 18 hits. So roll. All right. So that's okay. So you jam the torch directly into it, and you all sort of pile in. But even as you did so, you saw it it writhe in fire, and then evaporate. And you felt it sort of. Well, actually, did it evaporate? No, probably not. So you jam the torch into it, and it sort of screeches in pain and anger, and then you see it flee from you at a great speed, like a superhuman speed, and it disappears into the dark, into the evening sun.
All right, I just collapse down and sit on the spot.
All right, you have all fought this
Very
creature.
good roll then.
So yes, so the creature has fled, defeated for now at least.
Wow.
Are you an elf, right?
I am an elf.
You fight bravely for an elf, Rovan.
Thanks.
I still have my sword out, and I know everybody else is like, yeah, yay, we went. And I'm like, somebody summoned that thing here. It didn't just turn up, because that is what killed Mallorn. I'm
I
going
say
to find
wearily,
out who
she
summoned it.
had something that she hid from me when I entered the room again.
Right.
She hid something in her hand from to her pocket.
So I'm going marching up into the room again and to confront her.
Okay. So you're going to march into the room, intent on sort of unmasking the truth. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Cool. I am conscious that it's now almost 3:30, which is sort of when I was hoping to pause. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if I've missed something that lets you recover from shadow. You can spend that.
Shadow is hard to recover from.
It is. I
Like
think
we're talking fellowship things from memory.
Yeah, that's what I'm just checking, that you can heal a scar. Oh yeah, healing a scar is a Yule activity. Yep. So healing a shadow scar is a Yule activity. You can strengthen, you can do that. There must be a recovering from shadow thing in here that I'm missing. Anyway, I'll find it later. That's fine. I thought I had found it, but obviously I was wrong. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be super helpful. Because there must be a way of recovering, and I've just missed it. I think you recover hope. Anyway, all right, okay. Maybe you have to pick up the scar, and then you have to heal the scar. Actually,
Don't go there, my friend.
I can believe that's the case. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, yeah. Actually, that might be how it works. I'll ask a few people who've been doing it for longer than me on the Discord later and see what they say. Okay, so You have driven off the shade. You storm into the room, sword high, torch in the other hand. Berelas is there. She looks at you in horror. What do you say?
There
Eoris?
is something going on here, and I want the truth. And I'm
Okay.
definitely trying to use my height and my awe to like.
So you're gonna throw down with awe.
Yeah.
Okay, I will give you a bonus dice for your awe skill as you storm into the room in your full regard. Would you like to spend a hope point as well?
Can I do that?
You can, to get a bonus 2 dice to the roll.
Yes.
Because
I
you
would
said
like to
you're
do that.
invoking the fact that you are tall and you're sort of showing your full Dunedain heritage
Yeah.
for a second, right?
Hell,
You're doing the.
yes.
All right, so spend a hope and get 2 bonus dice.
Okay, so 1, 2, and I don't. Where's my hope? Endurance down there. Okay, so hope goes.
Wow, it's all favored for you.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay, this could be quite impressive. Okay, roll.
And my target's 13, so let's hope this is good. Okay, so I get. How do I get rid of that? I don't know.
You just
Okay.
click on the under the die. Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's 10, 18,
23.
19, 23.
Okay, so you get a basic success. So she looks at you and she goes, I have no control over it. It is bound to the ring. And she sort of, and this will be the final moment of this this episode, and then when we come back, we'll do the rest of it. She pulls out, she sort of lifts this chain that's hanging around her neck, and you see, I'm pretty sure I've got it in here. Oh, for some reason now my mouse is not working. There it is. Okay, cool. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Is it there? Yeah, there it is. Show party. Dun dun dun.
She has. Is that a ring or a torque?
That's
it's a ring. It's a ring. It's a
Okay.
ring.
Jeez,
And
a
it's got
ring bearer.
7 gems on it.
Hmm.
You can make a lore roll at this point, Eoris.
Okay, I will. Hey, lore.
Lori,
Oops,
lore,
sorry.
lore, lore,
Yeah.
lore.
And now
lore,
roll.
lore, lore, lore.
Nah.
Okay. Yep. That could be a magic ring. Who knows? And on that cliffhanger, we will stop.
Nice.
So now, just a couple of very minor housekeeping things. So you get another 3. I'll get them right. You get another 3 adventure points and another 3 skill points.
Skill points. Yeah.
Nice.
Yay.
Which actually means you've got enough that you could actually buy a skill now. You could be like skilled folk.
Woo.
What do we? I have to look at what we spend these things on. Anyway, okay, cool.
And
All
you
right.
can build an heir. You can put your adventure points and things into an heir.
Might be a bit premature to start booking in the air.
I don't know.
Although you could
Coming across a wraith, yeah.
Yeah, coming across a wraith in the first fight was with a creature you can't actually hit with a sword. Yeah. Welcome to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because I could have this
Found a way to
wrong.
deal with it.
Actually,
That's
hold
okay.
on. Let me just play through. The first fight in the Lord of the Rings movie is with wraiths.
Yep,
Yes.
that is correct.
And
they
Aragorn drives them off with his torch.
With a flaming
Yep.
torch.
Sorry.
So there you go.
It's tradition.
It's tradition. So the only thing that could have been slightly different, but it's not actually a skill roll, so I'm going to assume no. And you're not actually a Noldor. Actually, no. You need to be a Noldorian elf, or you need to have bought the cultural blessing. There's a cultural blessing for high elves, and it might also apply for Linden elves that actually lets you basically fight Wraith.
Mm. I know there's one that helps me against dread from undead.
Yeah, I think it
So-
also lets you strike them.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Okay, so yeah, so
Cool.
that's that, and I'll stop the